You've decided to upgrade to the 7.3 Workhorse. Well, what's the difference between the daily driver and the Workhorse? Well, I'll show you a few of these little things. So 7.3 Workhorse is just that. It's designed for the guy that's actually going to be beating on this truck day in, day out, that wants this thing to haul. You guys that are doing construction work, the ranchers, the hotshotters, the farmers, guys that rely on their pickups to pull heavy day in and day out. This is the engine for you guys. This engine comes starting from the ground up with a stage 2 camshaft. What this is going to do is lower your exhaust gas temperatures, especially for you guys that are hauling heavy. Maybe you've got bigger injectors. Maybe you have a larger turbocharger. This is also going to change the duration and the lift of the lobe. So it's going to spool better for you while doing the same as lowering the EGTs. But that does not matter if we don't actually get it to the valve, so to speak. So we can ask for it down here, but unless the valve's actually opening, then it doesn't matter. For that reason, we use chromoly push rods. And these chromoly push rods are ensuring that everything that the camshaft's asking for, that the tip of the rocker arm's actually doing the work. So what else is different about this engine? Multi-layer steel head gaskets are used. This is getting away from the composite design that was originally used from the factory. In addition to this, we're O-ringing the cylinder heads for extra protection against blown head gaskets. This is great for you guys that are running these bigger turbochargers on this engine, because the factory GTP38 for stock configuration was fine. But when we start putting a little more boost to it, we're going to need a head gasket that's going to act like a spring. And that's what the multi-layer steel head gasket actually does instead of the composite. So on top of that, we have our head studs that are installed, these fasteners that are rated for a lot more than what your factory rating would be. 238,000 pound tensile strength rod to secure the clamping forces that are needed to make sure that the cylinder head stays in place. We've also got pistons that are fly cut, coated, and delipped. Some of you guys are out there cracking pistons on 7.3s. In order to combat this is to delip the piston. This is going to alter the combustion event slightly, but it ensures that we don't burn a hole inside the piston, and typically that's going to be done at the 6 o'clock position between the intake and the exhaust valves. So we have a polyolefin coating that goes over the top that ensures that the heat is retained above the piston. So we have better efficiency. Valve reliefs to accommodate this bigger camshaft as well. And it comes with a new harmonic balancer. This is really important because this is a wear item. A lot of guys are reusing these things when they should be throwing them away. The reason why it's a wear item is if you'll notice the elastomer ring on the inside, there's an inner ring and an outer ring. This is sandwiched together by the elastomer. Now, this is really important because every time that a combustion event takes place, every 90 degrees of rotation on this crankshaft, the inside ring is trying to accelerate and the outside ring is trying to catch up. The elastomer is actually where all your harmonic frequencies are absorbed, and this resonant frequency that occurs is sequestered. This is imperative for longevity of crankshaft and smoothness of operation. Also, the billet freeze plugs is a Choate design. What this does is allows the plugs to remain in the block when flexing is actually taking place. So around this area where the engine mount's located, there's thin walls and areas like that that cause flex on the block. If one of these plugs is to blow out, it's going to dump all your coolant out and it can cause you an engine failure. So how we combat that is the proprietary Choate Engineering billet freeze plugs, and they have a blow-proof design with 2 bolts that actually hold them in and a retainer plate on the back. So this ensures that you have no problems going down the road later. And last but not least, that problematic flex plate that always broke on the 7.3s is much bigger, much thicker in design. It's a lot heavier, more robust. These don't rip out like the factory 7.3s did. This will ensure that all that power gets to that 4R100 or that E4OD. So if you're thinking about an engine that's going to outlast you, now think about the Workhorse.